people ask him why he stopped doing what he does. And on the other hand, it's his own battle with self-deprecation, lack of self-esteem, lack of self-worth, which are all things that I struggle with very innately. So, yeah, way to go, Grimley. You fucking got me there. Moving on. Okay, got another question. What did you originally learn, or what job did you learn? And are you still in the field, or did you change your profession over time? I think Patrick hasn't answered a question first yet.
So I guess my first field out of school was I started as a submarine mechanic, and as we can obviously tell, I'm not a submarine mechanic anymore.
Well, there's some
no shit.
The one thing that I will say is I still do a lot of mechanical work, so it's kind of like a side hustle. Hobby for me. I take care of my friends' cars and I take care of my cars. So I still do a lot of the mechanical work. But I'm obviously not working on submarines anymore.
Well, that's a shame. For me personally, my first field was actually while I was in the Army. I did chemical, biological, radiological, basically warfare, I guess you could call it. It was a lot of like maintaining equipment and training soldiers on how to operate in environments that there were chemical, biological, or radiological threats in. And then when I got out of the military, I went into nursing. But the whole reason that I ended up out of the military was because I had an injury. So that injury played a part in my inability to be a nurse anymore. So I transferred to another field that was similar, which was public health, and fell in love with epidemiology and biostatistics. And I'm currently a stay-at-home mom, so I don't work in the field right now.
I actually started off in nightclubs while I was still in high school, actually. I ended up DJing in nightclubs when I was 17 years old. Kind of turned that into a bit of a career. You know, had the big hopes of, you know, making it big, being the superstar. And quickly realized that was not going to happen. Because back then there wasn't the technology that there is now. There wasn't the networking that there is now. You know, the internet was like barely a thing. So Nate and I were writing music together, and we were trying to release that, and we're doing really good chart wise, but we didn't have the networking, like I said, that we do now. And so yeah, that didn't pan out. I ended up doing bartending, moving on to club management. I got to a point where I was tired of it. I felt like it was a dead end. Like there was nowhere further that I could go. I'd reached management. The only thing that I could do to get past that was to own a club. And after working in them for 20 some years, I was just like, nope, fuck that. I'm done. Because I didn't want the hassle anymore. So I ended up quitting that, going back to college at 33 years old, and got a diploma in digital media design. I had always been into graphic design, animation, stuff like that. And yeah, that also didn't pan out, because after here's me trying to charge industry rates for a little bit under, you know, to get clients and get gigs and whatnot, I'm being undercut by 16-year-olds with a cracked copy of Photoshop. So like they're charging $25 to do like a logo, whereas I was, you know, charging 200 or whatever, depending on what it was. And it just didn't pan out. But yeah, my last job before the pandemic was I was doing graphic design for one of the local newspapers. And then I got laid off from that, and here we are now.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! And this is me now. Yeah.
Real quick follow-up question, Spaz. So when was the blue hair days?
The blue hair days. At some point.
Wait, how did I not know that there were blue hair days?
Oh, I gotta give you that picture.
Yes, please.
Definitely. I've got a picture of Spaz with blue hair. It's shocking.
I feel like this is the picture that needs to go on YouTube.
I mean, quite possibly.
This is the moment where Spaz is like, fuck, I don't have control over that.
You know what I think? You know what I think fucked her up about your question was not that you said blue; it was that you said hair.
You know what? Absolutely, Mr. Clean over here used to have hair.
It's true. Yeah, I got wedding pictures to prove it. Yeah, that was some point in 2000. I actually lost a bet because at the time, my beverage of choice was the Blue Rev. I don't even remember what the bet was, but I lost it, so it meant I had to dye my hair blue.
Doesn't remember what the bet was.
No.
But remembers the blue hair.
Yep, definitely. Well, I mean,
there's photographic evidence of it, yeah. I don't have a choice but to remember it.
All right, let's do one more.
Sure.
Sounds good.
What is your favorite drink, and what is your least favorite food and drink?
I would think hot beverage coffee. I do love my coffee. Colder beverage, probably root beer. I'm a simple man. What can I tell you?
What's your least favorite drink?
Milk.
Any particular type of milk, or just milk in general?
Just milk in general. Well, the milk with the lactose in it, because it makes my tummy do the not happy.
What about your least favorite food?
Cheese. Again, with the lactose.
Also because of the unhappy tummy.
Very unhappy. And yet I can eat pizza. I can have pizza if it's the ratio of like cheese to other not cheese is fairly even. I can eat that, but other than that, no. It's a no for me.
What about you, Patrick? What's your favorite drink?
Favorite drink would be Dr. Pepper.
No one's surprised.
I am not only Dr. Pepper, cherry Dr. Pepper.
Oh, very
That
nice.
is the shit. That is the shit. I don't do hot beverages for the most part, so I don't have a hot beverage that I prefer. I don't do tea or coffee. I mean, hot chocolate's okay, but actually, you know what? I'll take this back. In the fall, I love hot apple cider.
Fresh hot apple cider, though. Like, It has to be fresh.
Least favorite drink is, like Spaz, is milk. I don't do regular milk. Chocolate milk is about the only milk that I will actually drink, but I'll pay for it.
I like strawberry milk.
I mean, I could do strawberry milk too, but it depends on the factors that weigh into it is if I want to pay for it later or not.
But say I'm severely allergic to milk, but I'll drink some strawberry milk.
And then least favorite food, sloppy joes. I hate sloppy joes.
Really? I love sloppy joes.
I grew up eating them all the time. I hate them so much.
I can understand that.
Especially because my mom put peas in them, and I hate peas as well. Ugh.
Who does that?
People in the Midwest.
Apparently.
Are you okay? Is your mom okay?
I'm going with no.
I think we've talked about this before. No.
It's like, here's a hot dog bun. I'm going to slap a shepherd's pie into it. Enjoy. No.
Okay, Lee.
My favorite drink is cherry cola, cherry Coke in particular. My least favorite is water. I hate it. I have to be forced to drink it. And
If I would have known that was going to be your answer, I would have jumped on that one too, actually.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. My least favorite food. I don't know. I'm very picky because I have textural issues when I eat. You know what? Oysters. Oysters are just like snot going down your fucking. It's nope. I hate it.
That one's for
hate
you
it so
too.
much.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, it's a good thing you're not going to Golf Wars with me because I'm going to a place down there that has fresh oysters. They put Tabasco on the top of the oyster, and
Okay, we can stop talking about the fucking oysters.
They
Now
would
it's
fire it.
spicy
Oh
snot.
God, I'm done now. I'm sorry, but I'm not.
But you're snot.
But you're snot. Next segment. Have the negative thoughts been getting you down? Have imposter syndrome and rejection-sensitive dysphoria been running rampant? Well, don't you worry, because we've got you covered. Hi, I'm Willie Everdoit from ADHD Incorporated. And just in time for summer, we're proud to present you our brand new product, Squirrel Detergent.
Squirrel detergent.
Squirrel Detergent, the neurodetergent for neurodivergence. With our patented dopamine boosters and clean nutty scent, you can be sure that your ADHD brain is at its squeaky clean best. But don't just take my word for it. Squirrel Detergent comes doctor recommended.
I do not recommend this. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
So what are you waiting for? Order your Squirrel Detergent now. Operators are standing by.
Side effects may include loss of hair, loss of appetite, loss of your spouse, loss of your sanity, and loss of your keys. Thanks to Dr. Bear the Giant for the cameo. May contain traces of nuts.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn to introduce myself. I'm Patrick, or Silverback, or the Muscle, if you've seen those clips. I graduated high school and joined the military, so I'm also a veteran. I joined the Navy initially. I worked on submarines, spent 9 years in the Navy, decided to get out because the promotions sucked in the Navy at the time. And I decided that, jumping out of airplanes would be a good idea at 28 years old. If I can go back and punch my 28-year-old self in the face, I would.
Spoiler
Because-
alert, it's never a good idea.
No. I did 4 years in the Army as an infantryman and was medically retired because of my consistent knee injuries. Also my back. But
Let me guess, both of those were from jumping out of a plane.
Yeah, pretty much.
With a parachute designed to make you fall faster than the average parachute.
Yeah, pretty much. That's about right.
You know what I think is really a missed opportunity here is naming the podcast the Broken Knees Club.
Right.
I'm just saying.
We're all messed up there. So I got out. I went to become a motorcycle mechanic. Worked on Harley Davidsons for a while. Then worked at a steel mill at the blast furnace. And then was a salesman for a little bit. And then I decided to go back to school. And I'm working on a political science bachelor's and will be pursuing a master's degree in some field, probably sociology, when I graduate.
Sociology is such a good field. I like sociology. Those are some of my favorite classes.
So I was diagnosed with ADHD by TikTok.
No shit.
I was diagnosed about 3 months ago now.
It's your fault.
At 42 years old.
You knew you first. It's your fault.
I started messing around on TikTok. I made a page for my dogs. I have 2 wonderful huskies, if you don't know. And they were super popular and still have more followers than I do. I started my own page to start talking about my hobby, which is the Society of Creative Anachronism. I'm basically a beefed up version of a Ren Fair.
Which, by the way, if you're wondering what that looks like, all you have to do is rewatch the intro because there are a couple shots of him dressed up.
Mm-hmm. I want to say it was Spaz was the first person to come across my feed with ADHD. And I started to get really called out.
Shit, it was my fault.
Really called out.
I told you that.
I'll see my
I started using my my TikTok channel to discuss my ADHD, not thinking that it would go anywhere. Just basically kind of like a notebook.
Like a planner.
And all of a sudden people started listening to me and asking me questions and following me. And now here I am 4 months later doing a podcast with you two, and for some reason I'm part of this amazing community of creators and they all respect me, and
Might be because you're also an amazing individual.
I was going to say, yeah. I can't imagine how that would be.
But it's been pretty amazing because I've just never known what was wrong with me. My whole life, I've always struggled with a lot of things since I got out of the military. And I've just been in a slow decline since I got out of the military. And finding out that I had ADHD was really, really hard because I look back at my life now and I can see all these things that I used to do. And I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah. But also super validating because I know it's not my fault that these things happened. It was something that was wrong with me. And comorbids. I have clinical depression. I have PTSD and CPTSD. And I've also been diagnosed with anxiety and dysgraphia and dyscalculia. So.
Oh, hey, look, there's some shit I didn't mention. Spaz keeps making fun of me because I ask for everything to be put in Comic Sans because I have dyslexia.
As a graphic designer, that's like a cardinal sin, so...
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much me.
You're one of the ones that initially got their diagnosis online.
Uh-huh.
So
I got my diagnosis through ADHDonline.com. I am not sponsored by them, by the way.
We are not sponsored
nor
by
is this
ADHD Online.
Nor is this podcast.
Email address is...
It is. But if you are struggling and you can't get anybody, or you live in a place that doesn't have anybody local to see you, I look up the online options. They are available. They are there. Keep in mind, they are very specific tools, though. They will only diagnose you with ADHD. They will not give you any of the other comorbids. You may not be able to get medicine online. So it's a very specific tool. I was struggling in my local area, which is why I looked it up.
And whenever anybody asks me about getting an online diagnosis, you're the one that I usually send them to because you're the one who has gone through that.
I didn't even know that diagnosis was... How did I not know this?
Nor did I, until actually Patrick told me.
So Courtney was the one that talked to me about it initially. So that was the one who tipped me off to it. And with all my struggles, I decided to push forward. I waited until after I saw my general practitioner here, and she gave me nothing in the local area, not even leads to who to talk to. And then I was just finally done. I was done pounding my head against the wall of a medical system that wasn't helping. So I decided to pursue it online.
And that's completely valid.
Mm-hmm.
Completely valid.
And again, I started talking about ADHD and actually starting to educate about ADHD before I had my actual diagnosis. But I had done a lot of research at that point, and I had self-diagnosed. And when I got my diagnosis, I was right on the money with my diagnosis. So, which is why I
say self-diagnosing is valid.
I was about to say this is a good time to bring up the validity of self-diagnosing, because mental health in this country is unfortunately